Ready to talk proper business now is Joke Rogers.
Thank you, Amarachi. The cost of registering businesses in Nigeria has been slashed by half. This takes effect from the 1st of October 2013 to encourage investments in the country. This decision was taken as part of a memorandum of understanding between Nigeria and Brazil. As part of that agreement, Nigeria's Corporate Affairs Commission has reduced capital registration costs by 50% for equity registrations of 500 million naira or lower, and by 25% for equity registrations from 500 million naira and above. The Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment noted that the initiative is in line with its investment climate reform program aimed at strategically repositioning Nigeria as a preferred destination for both local and foreign investments. It's expected that Nigerian companies will save well over 2 billion naira per annum, which can be used to sustain their businesses, hire more staff and expand their operations. Well, the International Monetary Fund has cut its forecast for global economic growth, citing weakness in emerging economies. The cut, it now expects a global growth of 2.9% this year, a cut of 0.3% from its July estimate. For 2014, the fund expects global growth of 3.6%, down 0.2%. Nigeria is expected to grow 7.4% in 2014, up from this year's 6.2% projection. However, the IMF believes Nigeria could still do better, notwithstanding the country's security problems and oil theft. It says high oil prices are also underpinning strong growth. Meanwhile, in Sub-Saharan Africa remained robust between 2012 and 2013 and is expected to accelerate to 6.0% in 2014. Nigeria's key stock market index is back on track with a 0.1% rise on Tuesday. Loretta Chogo has more figures from today's session.
Hello and welcome to Stock Market Report tonight. The Nigerian equities market bounced back to winning ways today as the all-share index rose by 0.12% to close at 36,904.52 points. The market capitalization also edged up to 11.75 trillion naira. Guinness led the laggards table with a 2 naira 64 kobo drop. Nestle and Cadbury also recorded losses. Now on the advances chart, Mobil, Flour Mills of Nigeria and UACN gained 4 naira 50 kobo, 2 naira 55 kobo and 2 naira 29 kobo in that order. Now, Transnational Corporation of Nigeria, Diamond Bank and Unity Bank topped the volume chart. At the close of trading, 4,467 deals were exchanged at a value of 2.96 billion naira. And that's the Stock Market Report. I'm Loretta Chogo.
Thank you, Loretta. That's it on Business News on the News at 10. I'm Rachi. We'll be back in a moment.
As a reminder here of our breaking news scrolling on your screen now. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, says a petroleum depot located in the Apapa area of Lagos exploded tonight, spreading to a 2-story and a 3-story building. Residents of number 12 and 14 Edmore Street by Wilmer Crescent, Olodi Apapa, are worried that more buildings may be affected. In the meantime, NEMA has been evacuating those residents from the buildings. All relevant agencies are advised to move in and check the situation. We'll be bringing you more on this story as soon as we get them. Well, standing by now is Charles with sports news.
Well, thanks, Samara. Rather unfortunate situation about that fire, but then the Super Eagles are about to set Ethiopia alight. The national team opened training today in Abuja ahead of the 2014 FIFA World Cup playoff against the Walia Antelopes of Ethiopia. Chelsea midfielder John Mikel Obi, Ahmed Musa of CSK Moscow, And Vincent Inyama, the Yule goalkeeper, were among the 18 players who trained today. Among the 18 players who trained today at the refurbished Abuja National Stadium. And that training was mostly in conditioning and lasted for about 2 hours. The team will train again at the same venue tomorrow afternoon. In club soccer, defending champions Kano Pillars stormed to the top of the Globe Premier League with a hard-earned 1-0 win over title rivals Enyimba. The match played at the Confluence Stadium in Lokoja, Kogi State was a rescheduled match day 31 tie. Substitute Maniru Bale struck the winning goal in injury time after connecting a header from Kabiru Umar. Kano Pillars now top the table with 60 points, displacing Bayelsa United to second place on 58 points. El Kanemi Warriors are third with 57 points, while Enyimba are fourth with 56 points. Now to Global Football Administration. FIFA President Sepp Blatter is aiming to join forces with the International Olympic Committee IOC to ensure Brazil's new doping control facility is operational and duly accredited before next year's World Cup. Last week in Zurich, FIFA's executive committee decided that Blatter should contact the IOC to determine whether a joint approach was feasible before making FIFA's feelings known to Brazilian authorities. Now, this was after the World Governing Body's Medical Committee came to the view that FIFA would send World Cup samples to the World Anti-Doping Agency accredited laboratory in Lausanne, Switzerland. To tennis now, although he can't quite believe it, Rafa Nadal is delighted to be back at world number 1. Ahead of the prestigious Shanghai Masters, the 27-year-old Spaniard and the deposed number 1, Novak Djokovic, reflect on a busy but successful tennis year.
That is a place that I always loved to play, and yes, thank you very much for the number 1. Something that I never thought that I would have the chance to be back over there on the number 1 spot. But the great season that I had gave me that opportunity, and enjoying that situation, knowing that something that at the end is just a number, but is special be back there, because that means that I am playing great.
It's been a fantastic week for me in Beijing, and I hope to continue on playing well here in Shanghai. Obviously, as a 1,000 event, it's even a stronger field. You have all the best players in the world playing here, except Andy Murray, who is not here, but everybody else is, and it's going to be very competitive. But I've been traditionally in the last 5 years performing my best tennis and playing well on a Chinese soil, so I hope to continue.
Well, the rivalry between the big two continues. Federer's dip in form and Andy Murray's illness. But that's it on sports news. I'm Charles Aruka. Coming up, Amarachi Obani with the rest of the news at 10.